The night was quiet, but inside David's heart there was a storm. At 48, he felt like life had somehow passed him by. His days looked the same: wake up before dawn, drink lukewarm coffee, ride the crowded bus to his janitor's job at the hospital, and then return to a small, empty apartment where silence echoed louder than any noise. His wife had passed years ago, and his only son lived in another city, busy with college. Loneliness clung to him like a shadow. He often wondered, is this it? Is this all life has for me? One particular morning, the cold air bit at his face as he walked into work. He noticed people bustling past him, doctors, nurses, visitors, all of them moving fast, eyes glued to phones, voices full of purpose. Meanwhile, David's mop bucket squeaked across the tiled floor, each squeak reminding him how invisible he had become. But then something small happened. In the cafeteria, a young nurse accidentally dropped her tray. Soup splattered everywhere, silverware clattered across the floor. David rushed over, kneeling down with his rag, cleaning up the mess. The nurse flushed red, whispering, "I'm so sorry." "It's okay," he said gently, giving her a reassuring smile. She hesitated, then softly added, "Thank you." 2 words, simple, but genuine. David froze for a moment. People rarely thanked him. Most walked away before he even finished cleaning. But this, "thank you," it touched something inside him. That night, sitting alone at his kitchen table, he thought about it over and over. The next day, he decided to try something different. Instead of moving quietly and unnoticed, he started greeting people as he worked. A warm, "good morning," a nod, sometimes even a small joke. At first, people seemed surprised. But soon, a few began smiling back. Some even called him by his name. And then, one day, while cleaning the waiting room, he saw a little boy sitting with his mother. The boy clutched a crayon but had no paper. David tore a piece from his notebook, placed it on the table, and said, "Every artist needs a canvas." The boy's eyes lit up. He drew a picture of a sun and proudly handed it to David. "For you," he said. David taped it to his janitor's cart. For the first time in years, his cart wasn't just a tool of work, it carried a piece of joy. As days turned into weeks, David realized something: his life wasn't empty. He had been looking at it through the wrong lens. Gratitude, both receiving it and giving it, was filling the cracks in his soul. One evening, as he was about to leave, the hospital director approached him. David stiffened, worried he had done something wrong. But instead, the director said, "I've noticed how you treat people. You've made this place warmer. Patients and staff mention you often. Would you be willing to help us lead a kindness initiative here at the hospital?" David's throat tightened. Him, the janitor. But then he thought of the boy's drawing, the nurses, "thank you," the smiles he'd seen bloom in hallways. "Yes," he whispered, his eyes shining. From that day on, David's life transformed. He wasn't just the man with a mop anymore. He became the man who reminded others of the power of kindness, of gratitude, of noticing. And every night when he sat by his window, he no longer felt invisible. He felt connected, to people, to purpose, to life itself. His son visited months later, surprised to see a wall covered with drawings, thank you notes, and small tokens from people whose days David had touched. "Dad," his son said softly, "I've never seen you this alive." David smiled, holding back tears. "I thought life was empty," he said. "But really, it was waiting for me to fill it with gratitude." And so, if your life feels heavy, lonely, or empty, remember this: sometimes the smallest "thank you" can open the biggest door. Gratitude doesn't just change others, it transforms you. Because in the end, life isn't measured by what we have, but by the thankfulness we carry in our hearts. And if this story touched you, don't forget to subscribe for more tales that remind us of the beauty and power of kindness. Rose.